What's up, guys? We got Hondaru on the lift right now, and today she's going back together. So we had some stuff going on with the crank and some other little things in the engine, and Emilio was working on it the last few days, and we actually ended up swapping the crankshafts on this thing. You want to kind of show what was wrong with the other one?
So we were gonna change the head gasket, so I had to take this old ATI dampener off, and when I took it off, you could see here, like, it took some material with it, and it was really hard to come off. What I think happened was, so like a long time ago when it was a stock motor, I think this was the first motor that we had in here, the pulley came loose in the front and it left some material on it. So I shaved it down as much as I could, but I think there was just a little bit on there still. And I don't know if you guys know, but when you guys put the ATI dampeners on, like it fits super tight. So on top of that, I think when it, when we did press it on, or just, we put the bolt in it and hit it with the impact, but I think it just pulled all the material off when I was trying to take it off, because it was so hard to pull off. Like you can see, like it kind of just messed up the whole ATI dampener.
Yeah, it got messed up in there. When the bolts come loose on the dampeners, they can friction weld themselves to things. Yeah. So that's also kind of what happened to your flywheel too. Yeah,
that happened to my flywheel. We put this one on, but another thing that happened was when those dowels weren't in there, when the clutch was coming loose, and it kind of
wallowed all that out.
Yeah, and it like put a little lip over all these bolts. So I could get this out, but I'd have to shave it all, and I just decided to go with a new ATI dampener and a new flywheel, so that way everything's fresh, and a new crank. So while I was in there, I changed the main bearings, I checked everything out, everything was good, changed the main bearings, the rod bearings, and basically just freshened it up.
Now it's ready to go back together.
Yep, and it has the new head gasket in it, the thicker studs, so I think she's ready for more boost.
Fresh rebuild, ready to go. Got the nice little K-tuned cover on the timing tensioner there.
I was gonna put that on before, but I decided to paint that black to make this pop out a little bit.
Yep, and then we also got the new drive shaft, because that one had that gouge taken out of it. We got some goodies in those boxes, which you'll see in a second. And then the transmission is ready to go.
Yep, the transmission came back, he tested it. He said the reverse and everything should work perfect now. All the gears look good when he was in there, checking everything out. So
we're ready to go ahead and get this thing in there. We just gotta get the flywheel put on here and the clutch and stuff and get it all put back together. All right, we just got the transmission in. Go ahead and try to fire her up real quick, dog. She's ready to go.
It won't start.
Oh, it won't start. Oh, we forgot the freaking motor. Hold on. There, try that. Hondaru's back. There it is. She's purring. So we had to make a trip back to the house because I need to grab this little plasma cutter because we have some stuff to cut on Hondaru for the drive shaft clearance. So while we were getting that, Gordo came with me, and I'm letting him borrow the radials off of the hatch because he's getting a set of these for his Civic. He wants to see how well they fit and stuff before his come in so that he can make adjustments now, so then he's just ready to rip once they get here. So I'm letting him borrow these and see how they fit on his little EF, and then the hatch is sitting on the OG slicks again just here in the garage. But yeah, go try these things out. She's gonna hook up good with those. No more spinning. These are the M&H Race Masters. These things put in work. Well, Hondaru is all put back together. As you guys saw, she fired right up. Motor's refreshed, new head gasket.
Feels good.
New studs, yeah.
Like that.
It's purring.
Everything, yeah. It sounds great.
She's all cleaned up, looking fresh again. And we just got the drive shaft and stuff in. We had to clearance that section where it was rubbing. You guys saw we used the plasma cutter for that. We didn't film it, but I did just go grab my plasma cutter from the house.
A while ago, did we show beating it up? We might have shown, like, I don't know if we did or not, but he ended up cutting more out of it, so the drive shaft's not even close to it.
Yeah, we tried hammering this here. It's laying on the ground somewhere. Right there. Yeah, this is the piece right here. We plasma cut this out. So this is like part of the rear little K-member thing. And we originally cut slits into it and then hammered it up, and it kind of bent it up. but it wasn't enough, so we just plasma cutted this whole piece out, and now, yeah, she's thick. But now the drive shaft doesn't hit on anything, so we got rid of that. Everything's put back together and ready to go. Had to get a new drive shaft as well.
Everything's fresh, man.
Yeah, got the motor all cleaned up and ready to go. Need to work on a better battery tie down
that's
still.
The last thing, yeah. I don't know. The plan originally was to put it over here, but I just didn't really want to hide it anywhere and just make it hard to get to it if we needed to. So I think I'm just gonna find a little bracket or make one and it's gonna stay there.
Just strap her down.
Yeah.
Now I need to check if that reverse is working.
The reverse, because it was never working.
Yeah, ever since we got the sequential, we haven't had reverse working, but Zach said it should be good now.
I guess we'll see.
We just got the
It's
pump.
weird having reverse. We kept having to push it.
Yeah, pushing it everywhere. Just got the clutch and everything pumped up, so fire up and see if it wants to click into reverse. Oh, reverse works. Oh yeah.
Hey, but it works.
Yeah, it goes into reverse.
That's the first time it's been in reverse.
That's awesome.
It's been this color.
Now you don't have to push it every time.
Yeah, I know.
That's gonna be so nice. Especially with this spool, it was such a pain to push this thing out every time. Did not like turning. So as you guys saw, we got Hondaru back up and running, and you can probably tell that we haven't been posting too much lately. I've actually been pretty busy with the MR2 the last few days. I had to get the motor and stuff pulled out of this thing because we found out that she had low compression in one of the cylinders, and we're having some head issues, and we had to get some stuff ordered to rebuild a new head and get everything put back together. I just didn't bother filming it because, you know, we found the issue when it was in the car. We were actually getting ready to take the MR2 to a test and tune after getting the transmission fixed and put it back together, and I could hear that a cylinder was kind of down on compression on one of the holes, so I was like, let's just do a compression check real quick, and we found that one was low. And then even after fully loosening the rocker arm on this guy right here, after fully loosening this nut, you know, that should let you adjust the lash right here with a feeler gauge. Yeah, not to mention on that hole, these were completely tight and you couldn't fit a feeler gauge under them. We loosened them all the way up. Feeler gauge still would not go in, so that means either like the seats were pulling up out of the head or the valve was stretching and the bottom of the seat was getting beat up. These are like the bronze seats, I believe, on these heads, and they are designed for like 15 to 20 passes, and we've put a lot of use on this head, so it is very possible that the seats were starting to lift up some or get beat up a little bit. But long story short, we are gonna have to swap cylinder heads. So I did order everything I need to throw another head together, and while we were at it, the head gasket looked like it could have been changed out, so we're gonna get a new head gasket and stuff on the engine. But I've just been busy tearing this thing apart, so you know, I was pretty bummed out after getting the training fixed. I was excited to go rip it again and try to turn her up and shoot for that 8. We were gonna start prepping it for Rocky Mountain Race Week, make sure everything was ready to go, but we ran into this issue. So that's what I've been busy with, is tracking all this stuff down. And yeah, that's where the MR2's at for right now. And then we also found out that the motor mount on the passenger side, I mean, she's making a lot of power, boys. She's starting to tear that thing off the chassis of the car. I did have to re-weld it once, but I think this time I'm gonna have to reinforce it to keep it from happening once again. We also need to get all this power washed out. It's pretty dirty in here now, but you can see there's a pretty bad crack right here on this mount right there. And then this piece right here is supposed to be straight and everything's kind of tweaked over. All the other mounts look good, but that one is definitely taking some abuse. So I want to bend everything back straight, and I'm going to add some plates and gusset everything up and make it strong. So yeah, we'll get that mount all fixed up, and we'll get the new stuff for the head figured out, get a new gasket on the engine, and get everything put back together. The block and stuff's all over here on this little cart, and everything looks good on the engine that came out of the MR2. But yeah, like I said, that's why we've kind of been not uploading too much lately. Just been busy with this. Emilio's been busy getting Hondaru put back together. And we also have some stuff coming up for the Radici because the MR2 might not make it to race week. So we're kind of in this gray area on what car to take to race week, just because the MR2 might not be able to make it with how much work it needs right now. We were even talking about possibly bringing Hondaru instead. And I want to get your guys' thought on this. We were actually thinking about bringing the Routacy to race week and doing Rocky Mountain race week with the Routacy. We thought that'd be really cool. Has the full interior. It'd be a comfortable ride. And we just, I don't know. I think it might be the move. She's pretty much ready to go. And we got all the axles and stuff in, like the front ones. And the last time we did anything with this was when we had the viscous in and we were experimenting with the rear wheel drive stuff with it on the dyno. And, you know, it made the 500 horsepower, whatever. I put the front axles back in it and me and Emilio went to go rip it. And I didn't think it was going to do anything too crazy. I was like, yeah, 500 horsepower, cool. So I didn't even film this, but it was definitely making more than 500 horsepower. We got in it in first gear and this thing took off like none other, guys. I can't even explain, like out of our car, like it's like comparable to Honda at 700 on the street, and it dead hooked on these street tires. First, second gear just ripped, dude. Like me and Amelia were both like, holy crap. We couldn't stop talking about it the rest of the day. I really wish we filmed the reaction because we were freaking out. So we want to get back in this thing and show you guys what we're talking about. I haven't even got on it after that because I was like, dude, this thing's gnarly. And then we did feel a little vibration from the back, so we got to check some stuff out. There's actually a bolt that came loose, so I got to fix that before we can drive it again. But the Routacy might be a perfect candidate for Rocky Mountain Race Week. So that's something we were thinking about, but just got a lot of stuff up in the air right now, and we've just been busy working on the stuff. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I think the Routacy might be the move. And then another issue with that is that it does not have a roll cage, so we would need a roll cage by that time. But I talked it over with Brent, and it looks like we might be able to have Sean help us knock out a roll cage really fast, because me doing it on my own, I just don't think I could do it. I just don't have it in me right now. But I was talking to him, and it looks like we might be able to work something out for the Routacy if we do want to make it to race week. So sorry we haven't been uploading too much, but we do have stuff going on behind the scenes, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, we got Hondaru up and going, so that's going to be today's video, and I guess that's where I'm going to leave this one off. Sorry if the video was a little short, but we will get back into the regular content hopefully here very soon, especially with race week and everything coming up. And, you know, if we do send it on the minivan going to race week, then we're going to have a lot of content getting that thing prepped, you know, getting a hitch on it and all that stuff, which we were going to be doing on the MR2. My goal is to still have them both ready before race week, both up and running, because we still have almost like 2-3 weeks, and I already have the stuff on the way for the MR2. But we'll just see where it goes, and we're going to be taking Hondaru to the track hopefully next week too, since it's all back together, and do some stuff with that. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. Just a kind of update video. Hope you enjoyed regardless. See you guys later.